Let's talk a little bit more about functions, increasing, decreasing, and constant. So when are functions going to be increasing or decreasing or constant? All right, so let's suppose a function f is defined over an interval, okay? And we're going to say x1 and x2, these are just two possible x's, are actually in that interval. All right, again, guys, this is the textbook definition that I'm giving you. F is increasing, all right, on the interval if x1 is less than x2, so that just means we're moving left to right on our axis, the function value goes up. All right, so the way what A is really saying here is that a function is increasing if we're reading left to right and the function goes up. F is decreasing if we're reading left to right and the function goes down. That's what the math says. The function, again, is going to be decreasing if we're reading our graph left to right and the function goes down. And then constant, this one's usually pretty easy to pick up, if we're reading left to right and the function stays the same or is level. All right, let's actually look at a few examples. Wow, this one's pretty crazy. All right, so we, again, guys, I'm going to grab my pen because this is not hard, but for some reason students struggle with this. How do you read a book? All right, we read left to right. Okay, so again, read on your x-axis left to right. And so that's how we can see here our function goes up, we're increasing, decreasing, constant, increasing, and then decreasing. Okay, but in the homework, it's going to ask for the intervals over which the function is increasing. This means they want the domain intervals, and domain is the x-axis. Okay, so the function is decreasing. Now we can go back to our purple where we're actually decreasing. Okay, all right, so decreasing and decreasing. I know that I'm decreasing on these pieces, but I need the domain. The domain is -2 to -1 and 4 to infinity. Okay, those are the domain intervals. Where am I increasing? Well, my domain intervals, all right, let's grab another color here, -infinity to -2, all right, -infinity to -2, and 2 to 4, right? That's the domain intervals of where I'm increasing. And then lastly, what's the domain intervals where I'm constant? -1, again, let me change my color so it doesn't get confusing, -1 to 2, brackets on the -1 and 2. All right, that's the domain intervals where I'm constant. All right, here's another one. This one's a little bit easier to look at. All right, let me grab. All right, so where are we increasing? Notice, again, guys, you got to read left to right. You can't look at this thing and say, oh, it's an upside down U, it's decreasing, decreasing. No, we read left to right. And so here I'm increasing. All right, and I'll change my color. Here I'm decreasing as I read left to right. All right, now remember we want domain intervals. All right, and so the function is decreasing, let me grab my pen again, from -3 to infinity. That's the domain intervals where it's decreasing. What about increasing? All right, and so you can see -3 to infinity, we're decreasing. Increasing on -infinity to -3. All right, this is where we are increasing. Okay, so again, the trick, read the graph left to right, the same way you read a book. All right, what about this one? All right, let me grab my pen. Well, here we're increasing, right? Decreasing, constant, increasing. All right, so the function is decreasing. Well, where are we decreasing? We are decreasing from -2 to +2. That's where my function's going down, domain interval. All right, the domain interval where the function is increasing. The function, and I better change my color here, the function is increasing from -infinity to -2 and from 4 to infinity. And where this domain interval that we're constant, change my color again, we are constant from -2 to 4. Okay, and so again, keep in mind the two tricks. Read the graph left to right and make sure you're answering the domain intervals or the x-axis intervals.